A boy from Belfast, barely 17, stepped onto the European stage against Benfica at 1967 European Cup. He didn't just play, he mesmerized with his every blistering dribbling, sudden burst of pace, and cheeky flick. Defenders were left and chasing the shadows, and crowd couldn't believe in their eyes. In that moment, it wasn't just Manchester United winning a game. Football has got his new magician, and the world will never forget the boy who turned this beautiful game as a pure art, and it was none other than George Best. From young age, he played for a club in Star Aloka team where his extraordinary dribbling, balance and pace immediately set him apart. At the age of 15 years old, Manchester United scouts spotted him. They were looking for a raw talent, but Best was more than raw. He had a flair, creativity, and that unpredictable spark that only through genuine process which a star should be allowed. United brought him to England, enrolling him in their youth academy. In Manchester United Academy, the best skills always flourish, which all those legends believe, as coaches were marveled his close control and acceleration and vision. Traits he often left the older players scrambling. He trained alongside other promising youngsters, but quickly became a standout. By 17, he made his senior debut for Manchester United in 1963. From the academy prodigy to first team sensation, the transition was rapid, but it was a fearless style of play, dribbling, and with an immense sort of pace, which set him apart from any other player on the time. George wasn't just a footballer, he was a spectacle, a player who combined artistry, flair, ruthless finishing to the refine what it meant to be a winger. By the age of 22, Best had already conquered in Europe. In 1968, he led Manchester United to their first ever European Cup. That night against Benfica, he scored the goal that defined his career, rounding the goalkeeping with effortless composure and giving United the lead on the way to the glory. Days later, he was crowned the Ballon d'Or winner as Europe's best player. But Best magic wasn't just confirmed the finals in 1970. He humiliated Northampton Town with an extraordinary performance, 6 goals in a one match. Not a hat-trick, not a 4, but 6. A reminder that he wasn't only about a trick or a flair, he had an age of pure ruthlessness. What made George Best an unforgettable were the things you couldn't measure in numbers. His dribbling left defenders dizzy, his balance staying upright despite brutal tackles in era where referees are rarely blew the whistle, his pace and acceleration explosive enough to leave the fastest fullbacks behind, and his showmanship, nutmegs, feints, and step-overs. Football not just a sport, but there was a theatre for George Best. Best once said, "I spent a lot of money on booze, butts, and fuskers. The rest I just squandered." Off the pitch, he was a chaos, but on the pitch, he was a perfection. George Best didn't just play football, he was the football. Of course, George Best is often described with a single line: Maradona is good, Pele is better, but George Best is the best. Because at his peak, he was untouchable. As you already know his achievements, also win FA Cups, Premier League, though all that time there was no Premier League, but they win the English League, which was held by 1965 and 1967. But George Best's story isn't just about brilliance, it's also about excess. But Best loved the spotlight. He became a cultural icon in 1960s Britain, dubbed the Fleet Beetle. With fame came women, cars, alcohol. He once laughed about it, saying that I spent a lot of money on booze, bars, cars, and the rest I just squandered, as I already mentioned. Also, there was a famous line he said in 1969, "I gave up women and alcohol. It was the worst 20 minutes of my life." Can you imagine? He also said, "If I had been born ugly, you would never have heard of Pele." So, you know what's it wrong in it? Its nights out become as famous as his goals. He missed training, clashes with managers, and slowly his career began to decline. At just 27, the same age, Messi and Ronaldo were entering their peaks. Best was already sliding away from the top. Alcoholism haunted him for the rest of his life, eventually leading to his early death at 59. And yet, for all the controversies, the football world still remember the talent first. Best could dribble like Maradona, score like Ronaldo, and mesmerize like Messi. He had everything except discipline. That's why he is often called the most naturally gifted footballer ever, and why there will simply never be another George Best, because players like Messi, Ronaldo achieved the greatness through the talent and relentless dedication. Best had only talent, so much of it that half of his career was still enough to make him a legend. Just Best didn't just play football, he lived it, he burned through it, he left behind a legacy that was brilliant, tragic, and utterly unforgettable.